Hello, this is Deborah Cohen, and you are welcome to my live broadcast Sundays at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time, a story and a song. And today we're going to talk a little bit about singing for health and why everybody has been gifted a voice to sing. So we're going to talk about that. If that interests you, then please join me in a place where maybe you can be undistracted and take notes if you like, right after this message. This is Deborah Cohen. I'm writing meaningful music with a message. Spirituality, pop rock music, interfaith music, and sync music for movie, TV, and film. Check out my music, the story behind the song, and share. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for listening. DeborahCohenMusic.com. And again, this is Deborah Cohen, and I thank you for being here, whether live or in the archives, which are stored on twitch.tv/Deborah Cohen Music, as well as my YouTube channel at Jewish Rock Music. So let us begin by, if you are able to see this broadcast in video, I have a picture up of World Voice, a teacher's guide to singing in the classroom. And this is something that has suddenly intrigued me, even though I've been singing since I was in my 20s and the 80s. It's become a concern for me for people in places of worship that don't sing, and I wonder why. So let's dig into this, and hopefully you'll be able to listen. You know that feeling you get when someone starts singing and it almost takes your breath away? Actually, yesterday I was singing in a synagogue, and this wonderfully cheerful woman came up to me afterwards and said that my singing brought tears to her eyes. And please know that I'm not singing for attention. And hopefully after you listen to this segment, you'll know why I sing and why you can hear me sing. Okay, so when you hear somebody singing like that, maybe you go to a rock concert or whatever, your heart pumps a little faster and your senses feel heightened as the hairs on your arms stand tall, or in my case, the back of the neck, I get chills and goosebumps. You can almost grasp that land just beyond reach, beyond it, before it fades. In that song, the spiritual and the temporal become blurry. Some people call this a thin place, and the human voice has an uncanny ability to bring us to this blurry place. This experience is one of the reasons that we humans sing. We are made for it. Resonate just like a piano resonates or a guitar resonates. Our bodies are musical instruments that sympathetically resonate with sounds around us. That sympathetic resonating is literally our bodies vibrating. But sometimes our souls are vibrating too. Yes, and I can testify. It's amazing, if you really think about it, that the human body becomes itself the thin place where physical and spiritual blur. What a feeling! And that's available to all of us, if only we know. One thing I find disheartening in our modern life is how little singing that we do. It used to be, I'm told, that people would come home from their place of worship on a Shabbat or Sunday afternoon and keep singing. Now that seems taboo. Certainly, if I continue to sing as I go to Oneg, people are going to think, why is she singing? Now that seems taboo. I encounter people all the time who say to me, I can't sing. And it happened to me yesterday. I told this gentleman, because he said something about my voice is, you sing good or something like that. I said, well, so can you. And he said, I can't sing now. No, automatically dismissed it. I can't sing. When I hear this from people, I feel sad, seriously, because it means somewhere along the way, someone told them they had a bad voice, and in doing so, stole from them a fundamental aspect of their humanity, their voice. I disagree with you. You can sing. Are you listening? You can sing. You may not be a skilled singer, but you can sing, and you should. And I'm going to tell you why right after this brief message. Let's see, let's try this one. Okay, that was a real short message. Okay, let me look next. So thank you for listening. This is Deborah Cohen, and we're talking about singing, and I'm on this, I think, mission to help people to sing. Why? Let me tell you why. Okay, I used to love to sing to Beatles records. Maybe some of you might know the Beatles. When I was a teenager, they gave me goosebumps and chills, but of course, as a teenager in the middle of Beatlemania, the look of these singers from the UK made me scream. It was called Beatlemania. We loved the Beatles, but I sang along with them, and it just opened up my imagination and made me feel good. And this is one of the reasons that we sing. Maybe you sing in the shower, maybe you sing in the car, but it makes you feel good. And it's more than just a feeling that is good for us. It's good for our health. So I'd like to tell you what benefits in our health they are. Okay, let me get this together. Music has the power to touch our souls, and this comes from the website harmonyandhealing.org. Can music actually act as medicine, whether it's used in hospitals or hospices? Music can provide comfort for those who are ill, help them to cope with their illness. How about help them to cope with anxiety, depression, fear? Music helps people heal on a physical level by providing relaxation techniques that reduce stress levels, improve cognitive function. It provides emotional healing by helping us express feelings of grief, fear, or sadness, which often accompany hospital stays or end-of-life situations. So this website, harmonyandhealing.org, has a table of contents, and it tells you all of the reasons we want to hear music, engage in music, and sing. So let's pick one here. Music has healing power. Music, meaning also singing, has long been used as a source of comfort and solace in times of distress. And we can say we're in distress right now in the middle of this war in the Middle East with Israel and Hamas, which in English means chaos. The history of music in healthcare has shown that music can reduce stress, as I said, anxiety, depression, even chronic physical pain. Listening to calming music, which you can get on your phone app, just look up stress relief, music healing, 10HZ music for genetic healing. I can actually do that listening. It's all about the vibrations that we can't see. Studies have also found that singing with music helps release endorphins, hormones associated with pleasure, which further reduces stress levels and may even aid in the healing process. Music is often used in therapy sessions For this reason, it helps to create an atmosphere conducive to stress relief, healing emotional wounds. In addition to reducing stress levels, music can also be used as a form of self-expression, which is what I am as a singer-songwriter, or communication when words fail us. Sometimes it's easier to deliver a message in a song. Listening to uplifting songs or singing along with them can boost our moods by increasing serotonin levels in the brain, the neurotransmitter responsible for regulating our emotions and feelings of happiness or sadness. Certain types of music improve our cognitive faculty by stimulating areas in the brain related to memory recall, learning new skills faster than usual. Music is powerful. It can bring solace and joy to those facing difficult times. Its therapeutic benefits should not be overlooked. So I would like to encourage you to find a way, and if you're in the Clearwater, Florida area where I am, I'd like to start a group using this singing guide for teachers, World Voice. There is an app. If you have access to a phone app, look for this World Voice app, and they have a podcast to talk about all of the benefits of singing. And I would like to be able to encourage more people to get out of the listening mode during a service. Like, for example, I've got this, my favorite book. I carry it with me. I just love this Siddur. It's the Lev Shalem. And if you have that on page 123, I'd like to read this excerpt in the bottom right corner about singing. Specifically, Pisukei de Zimra. If you come from a Jewish background, you'll know what I'm talking about. So we're talking about singing in Pisukei de Zimra. It was sung by the Levites when the Tamid, the daily sacrifice, was offered according to the Seder Olam Rabbah. Similarly, our daily service in the temple, which is no longer, is accompanied by this song. One contemporary liturgical scholar, Yisrael Tashema, argues that Pisukei de Zimra literally means verses of song, derives its name from the prayer, which is an anthology of biblical verses said to have been sung in temple times by the Levites. But we are meant to sing Pisukei de Zimra. In Shachrit, there's excerpts of song. And what's happening instead in this day and age in Rabbinic Judaism, people open this book and maybe they chant sections of this part of prayer that's meant to be sung, or maybe they mumble it or go at warp speed. They sound like they're at an auction. You don't even know what they're saying. And, let's get back to singing if no other reason, for health benefits, so that when you go to a congregation and you're engaged in singing, it doesn't matter if you have an untrained voice. Don't say you don't have a good voice. None of us have. There are very few people, including myself, that have a good voice. I used to sing, like I said, with the Beatles records, but my mother apparently thought I didn't have a good voice, and she said when I sing, I sound like a sick cow, and that actually destroyed me. For a long time, I stopped singing because of the criticism. Imagine that, especially teenagers are so fragile, and you say something like that, maybe in joking, you sound like a sick cow, or even worse, listen to this person sing. Oh, I wish I could sing like that. It becomes this thing of comparison, just like we get into a exercise gym and we're like, I wish I could look like her. Yeah, you might think it, but let it go. It's just a thought in passing. Don't capture it and let it be who you are. So when somebody's, like I said to this gentleman yesterday, you can sing. God gave you a voice to sing. I'm talking to you, listening. You can sing. I can sing. I had to go through counseling to get over that tape that played in my mind every time I tried to sing. I heard my mother saying, "You can't sing." Or somebody maybe told you, "You can't sing." What a pity. They stole the joy that you have in your voice. And I'm telling you from experience, there are people, singing coaches, that can train your voice to sing on key, preferably. And the last synagogue I came from, um, none of them actually they had pitch problems. They couldn't sing on key, or they'd start in one key and then end up in another. That's not really acceptable for leaders, but it's what's become the norm. And so I found a rabbi that actually can carry a tune. And I got to sing with her yesterday, and it was like so glorious because I didn't have to change my key in the middle of the song because she didn't have ear training. It's available for all of us. So don't say you cannot sing. Say, okay, I'm not going to believe, think to yourself, I'm not going to believe what this person said to me. I'm not going to sit there and be entertained anymore when I'm coming to praise God, or I'm going to use the voice and work it just like a muscle. It gets better with time, and the more you sing, and I'm talking from experience, the more confidence you get, the better you feel about yourself, and you have the courage to sing. And when that happens, you will leave a congregational service in a much better frame of mind. You will be, you're pursuing healing. Healing is available to all of us when we sing. So think about that for a minute, and I'm going to give you this commercial, and then we'll be right back. I'm trying to be on task today, and I'm just in my mind really excited about being in Clearwater, Florida. Hi, this is Deborah Cohen Music, and I just want to wish you all a wonderful celebration ending in 2023. I thank you for listening to my music and buying my merch, and I hope we all have a greater 2024. I wish you all peace, salem, and shalom. And this is Deborah Cohen. Marty, Pisuke de Zimer is the early part of the service meant to get us into the mood of worship. So do you start to feel an elevation of the soul on Shabbat if you're Jewish, or if you're Christian, and you've got the singers. So you just sit there and listen, and that really doesn't, it might make you feel good, but don't you want healing? There's a reason why the Siddur is meant to be sung, because in the wisdom of God, when we sing and are engaging our soul in singing, there's healing. We're transformed. We are changed. But B'Tselem Elohim. But we can't just sit there and you listen to somebody else sing and think, she could let her sing. She can sing. I can't. So Marty's saying, every time we come to the place of worship, we should always leave feeling better than when we arrive. Yeah, you might get a feel good from somebody else's singing, but if you really want deep soul transformational singing, which we all have a soul and a physical body, you have to learn how to sing. There's no excuse for not taking singing lessons. And if there's enough people in the synagogue that I go to that want to start a group, I would be delighted. So there you go. Marty says, B'Tselem Elohim means we're made in the image of God. We're transformed from glory to glory. So speaking of spiritual transformation, the spirit is that part of us that is eternal. It comes from eternity and goes back to it. In our essence that is beyond flesh and blood, feelings and emotions, and even our rationality, it is our distillation, our inner core, the self which connects to that which cannot be seen, but is real as anything we touch or feel. It is the part of us that communes with the divine. and through which the divine communicates to us and through us. And so another reason to really sing your heart out is because it's communication with God. Isn't that the greatest reason to pursue and push through your own negative thoughts about your voice and instead to try to work your body, your physical voice? Work it. There's no excuse for not trying to use what you have to offer praise to God. Marty says we always need to remember that. B'Tselem Elohim. If God said we can be transformed and become healed and continually be healed, and he gives us the tools to do it, then let's try to pursue healing. And yes, those nasty voices in your mind will still pass through if you make up your mind and you decide you're going to try to learn to sing and develop your ear training. You have to learn to overcome them. They say in science that it takes, 10 or 12 positive thoughts to erase one negative thought. And this is constantly. So you got to find things to say to yourself when you encounter that old negative tape that runs in your head. You've got to say aloud, not just think it. Say something positive about yourself to override the negative thought. Seriously. There's a book out, I can't think of it right now, that says you have to practice that for 21 days if it's really deep-rooted in your brain, in your mind. 21 days of continual rehearsing good or rehearsing a song to erase the old tapes in our mind. So, as singers, we sing all three parts of ourselves. Our bodies are the very instrument. We play ourselves. Think about that. When you sing, you're playing yourself. When we sing, we spend years perfecting the talents we were given when we were created, how to make our larynx and our lungs and our trachea and our mouth and our lips produce what is music and beautiful singing from the soul. Your soul is pure. Don't you want to let your soul sing? No matter if you croak like a frog, that's just your physical voice. But inside of each one of us is a soul that wants to sing to the divine. It might take years. It's taken me years to get to this point. It's taken me decades to get to this point. So if I can do it, you can do it. No excuses. We access and utilize our souls to express feeling and emotion, to convey what the song or aria we are singing is about. But with the Spirit, within us, upon us, we are going beyond and delving within to the place of transcendence, transformation to the world which cannot be seen, but from which all other dimensions and powers emanate that are available to each one of us. And it is from this place that we yearn to sing spiritual music and derive great satisfaction from listening to it and performing it yourself. Not like somebody on a stage, but just cutting loose, busting a gut, singing to God. And it gets louder, I'm telling you. When I sing, I used to sing when my husband and I first got married in 2017. I sang an hour every morning with my guitar to God before I started my day, while we were trying to work out the bumps in our new marriage. And it gave me the strength. The singing gave me the strength to face the day, to face the world, to face, when you're first married, there's all kinds of challenges of trying to get along, and singing just helped me to just be in shalom, be inside in shalom. So let me close with this reading again from one of my favorite books. Let's see if I'll get it. The Lev Shalem. If you only use it on Shabbat, I encourage you to break it out during the week. Psalms are meant to be sung, and a lot of the psalms that the Levites sang, the melodies have been lost. So when I started getting over my self-consciousness, I started, your spiritual senses become engaged. We don't just have the senses of the physical body, see, hear, touch, smell, listen, whatever they are. We have spiritual senses that become awakened. And all of a sudden, I start hearing music in the spirit. It's not in the room, it's in the spirit. Adonai sfatai tivtaku fia gita hilatecha. Your spiritual senses are awakened, and I started hearing music to the Psalms because I wanted to get to that transforming place of God. And if you look for my music anywhere online, Deborah Cohen, that's Debra, Cohen, music.com, or Spotify, whatever, I've put a lot of the Psalms to music that I have heard in the spirit. So check it out. Pick one. And like Psalm 30 is a great place to start because we pray that in the synagogue. But let me finish by saying, as we close, I'd like to just share this. So take a moment, take a breath in, exhale twice as long, and let me read to you an excerpt from Israel Najara on page 123. You endow birds with the talent to sing. Your name, I too, desire the same. Birds wake the world, chirping aloud, a talent instilled in them by God. Might I too learn from those who fly and be instructed by this animal cry to acclaim the one who created me and you, and who planted a soul within our bodies. You endow birds with the talent to sing your name. I, too, desire the same. Tired people, look to the birds flying in the sky, who daily sing to the Creator on high. None tires, none fails to do what the Maker asked. None is diverted from the appointed task. Human beings, too, can plant seeds with songs. In mornings and evening, for nothing more need long. Take instruction, sing to God, bend your will, and so a priestly role fulfill. You endow the birds with the talents to sing. Your name, I too, desire the same. And this is a poem of wisdom by Israel Najara. And so I encourage you, like the poem, it says, bend your will. You may say, you've been saying so long, oh, I can't sing. People tell me not to sing. Stop that. What does God tell you? To sing to Him. You can take lessons. I might start a class where we can sing without fear of being criticized. That's what you got to get over with. These people, these crystal cathedral voices that flaunt their voices, and then you shut down because there's no way you can sing like them. That's not what this is about. This is letting your soul sing like a bird. Don't you want that? Don't you want transformation of the soul? B'Tselem Elohim. Thank you for listening. This is Deborah Cohen Music. And until we meet again, I wish you peace, salem, and shalom.
This land, my home, where the desert blooms life and song.